Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. So excited you're here and joining us today. I am Monique Carlisle. I am the business automation and optimization specialist here at Midas Web. And we come on every day at 12 noon Central to talk about business strategy, tips, tricks, things that you can do to enhance your business practices in real ways that can be implemented today. Then we take those tips, tricks, and strategies and we fulfill them with AI. So we utilize various AI tools, primarily ChatGPT, to fulfill those strategies and create the wonderful content, whether it's systems and operations manuals or courses or events, or all the way down to marketing, such as emails and text message campaigns and websites. So we do all of that with AI, and we take that business strategy and we fulfill it in quicker, more efficient, more effective ways. And then we take all of that hard work that we've done and we implement it with our automation system. Automation can triple your productivity without tripling your workforce. So put it to work for you. We at Midas Web do have our high-level platform. We are resellers. So if we can help you get set up with your own automation platform, we're happy to talk and chat. After every session at noon, we jump into open office hours, which is a Zoom room where you can ask your business questions. It can be about business strategy, a sounding board. We can discuss anything that you need and answer about AI or even utilizing your own automation platform, such as High Level. Happy to chat. Just click the link below to get the Zoom information and register for open office hours coming up right after today's training. So today we are discussing stale leads. We started this conversation yesterday and we talked about having a follow-up system to avoid having those stale leads. But it happens sometimes that those leads don't get into the system or you don't have a system set up. Those leads become stale. Maybe they're a week old, a month old, a year old. You have all of these great cold leads that you may have met at some point, and now they're just stale. They haven't heard from you. You haven't presented any value to them. You've lost touch. What do you do about that? Well, you can pick up the phone call and say, hey, this is so-and-so, and we haven't talked in a while. Sounds a little weird. Unless you're super social, go for it. That is definitely a good strategy, especially if you remember them and remember the conversations you had a month, a year ago. And you can bring that up and just pick up the phone. And I want to encourage you to do that and just reconnect. Another way is to do it via email. You could just send out, hey, we haven't talked in a while. Again, it's a little cold. It doesn't really connect with them. So what you want to do instead of just these cold, motionless, hey, we haven't talked in a minute conversation is you want to add value to that conversation. You want to add something to their wheelhouse that gets them to re-engage, that shows your value. So what am I talking about? Talking about workshops. I'm talking about events. Now, these do not have to be high cost, big events. We're talking about a Zoom 45-minute presentation on something in your industry, a 30-minute, again, value add tip, trick, idea. Getting on YouTube like this and doing a couple of videos and then sending out that message that says, hey, we've started creating this type of content and want to invite you to take a look. So all of these things kind of follow the same protocol. You have something of value that's free to attend and you're reaching out to inform them. You're not selling. You're not being super cringy. You are simply telling them we have value. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive into ChatGPT and we're going to discover some value add events that we can do with our roofing company. So this week we are focusing on the roofing industry and niche. And yesterday we talked about building a conversation AI follow-up chatbot within your automation system. So today we're going to continue that conversation, but we're going to pivot to events, to value add workshops. So let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen. ChatGPT. Now remember, when you're using a prompt bot like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all of those, you want to keep your conversation streamlined. So in this conversation, we're talking about common roofing questions. I'm going to keep it on this chat because at the very beginning, I told it to act as a master roofer. That's the persona that this conversation is adopting. I don't have to re-say that to continue this conversation. Also, my value add events are going to be around the things clients need to know. Okay. So, because I've already asked, what do clients need to know? What are some questions? What are some qualifiers? The chat conversation's already kind of aligned to turn this information into a workshop. So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and I'm going to start the conversation. Remember, I don't need to tell it act as a roofer. It already is doing that. We're going to jump straight into complimenting the bot. Great. I'd like to do some short workshops to present this information to prospective clients. These workshops, now we're going to give it a little bit more specific, need to be about 30 minutes long and present quality information homeowners need to know about roof repairs, replacements, or anything else identified above. So I'm reminding it we're using the information above and we're asking it to create these workshops. I'm going to be very specific. Each workshop is only going to cover one single topic. Make as many workshops as you feel necessary. All right, so I'm giving it permission, and we can even add in, by the way, you can add more stuff. So we can do that either here or we can wait a moment and do it in a second prompt. So here we go. Let's see the workshops it makes. All right, understanding storm damage, how to spot signs and what to do next. The roof inspection process, what to expect and why it matters. Navigating insurance claims, that's a good one. And if you end up doing something like navigating insurance claims, you can bring in guest speakers, which again shows your integrity that you're going to inspect their roof, but you're going to bring in experts in the insurance industry to talk about their portion and what they can expect from their insurance companies. So it's going to go through all of its things. And then we're going to need to create this workshop. So we're going to jump into our automation system and we're going to look at creating a calendar. So let's jump over into our sandbox. And when you are doing a event, you want to get registrations. So there's two ways to do registrations. So we're going to walk through both of them. The first way is if you're doing a consistent, regular workshop. So every Friday at 3 o'clock, they can log in. If you're going to do something very consistent like that, you will create a class schedule. You can technically use the class scheduler for one-off events, but I don't recommend it. I think that's a lot of work. This is great for, let's just say, info workshops. And we're going to put user 1 as our team member that's responsible. Put in our URL, workshops info, 30 minutes. Now, how many seats do you want in this workshop? If you're doing a small workshop and you only want a private, intimate gathering, maybe you limit it to 10. If you're trying to do a large reach, Zoom can hold up to 99 people for free. So you might want to put 99. This is, of course, up to you. For our purposes, let's just put 15. And then when is this recurring class available? Okay, so maybe I hold it every Wednesday, no, let's say Thursdays at 3. So we can actually be super specific and say 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever works for you. And since we're only holding it once, we're going to change it to 4 to 4:30. So that'll only give them one slot every single week. Now let's look at what that looks like if I choose more than one. So I'll show you both in just a moment. Your meeting location, this is where you would copy in either your address, your Google Meets, or your Zoom link to tell them where to go. So I would put your Zoom link if it's going to be a virtual, because it'll pop up into their Google Calendar as soon as they reserve. All right. And then, of course, you can charge for these classes. For our roofing classes, it's going to be a free informational workshop. But if you did something like a workout class or QuickBooks Online class and you were doing a series and you wanted to charge, you could turn on payments and then put in your information. All right, so we're going to put Zoom. There would be a Zoom link here, and then we're going to hit confirm. All right, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when we have just one availability. So here you'll see that every Thursday at 4 o'clock, there are 15 seats available. Every Thursday is the same exact time. They don't have any other options. Let's shift that. We can do a couple of things. We can add more time slots. I'll show you that. You can also turn off the seats. So if you don't want them to see how many seats are left, you can turn off that as well. So let's look at those two options very quickly. So to edit my calendar, I'm going to click the 3 dots and I'm going to click edit. And then I'm going to go straight down to availability. Of course, you can fill in all of this information and customize it. So for availability, let's say we're doing workshops every Tuesday and Thursday. So we'll start simple. Let's just say it's the exact same time. And there we go. So now we're going to have 2 slots available. A little cheat you can do is you can copy 2 different days. So if you have the different availabilities. So if I do this, I will see 2 slots, 2 openings. The Tuesday and the Thursday will be blue. And of course, you can change the colors and customize them. But let's say I want to have multiple 30 minutes. Let's change this to 2 to 4:30. And this one will also be 2 to 4:30. So they can log in and they can book for any of these classes, Tuesday or Thursday. Of course, set your buffer. So if you are doing something like a workout class or anything like that where you need some time to cool off, cool down, rest between, then you might want to put a post buffer time of say 15 minutes. That is, of course, up to you. And then you can change seats per class. And the setting for showing the, I'm going to find that really quick. Who should we show seats per slot? So it's on the last customizations all the way down. If you don't want to show seats, you can turn that off. So we'll turn it off so you can see that. Click save. Now what's awesome is this calendar is this link. So I don't need to update or resend the calendar link when you make these changes. So wherever you have this link stored and emailed out, all we need to do is refresh the page. And now we can see that we have multiple slots. And as they book, that 15-minute buffer will come into play. So if I book at 2, then the 2:30 is actually going to disappear. So they will not be able to book at 2:30. They'll have to see the 3 o'clock slot because that 15-minute buffer goes into that overflow. So you can't book at 2:30 if you're taking a 15-minute rest break. So that is how you can start gathering those calendar appointments. Let's look at one other way very quickly, and that is through a form. So forms are filled out under Sites, Forms Builder, and we can add a folder. Let's just say it's a yoga registration form. Let's say this is the roofing information form. This is a template that you have access to. So you have hundreds of templates you can choose from to kind of pre-build, and then you can customize it, everything from font to placement, images, all of those things. So this is our registration form. You would build this out. We do go into forms in other videos, so please check those out. Delete the pieces you don't need, build in all of that. So now we have this form, and what we would do is set up an automation that adds them to the correct workflow. Add them to the correct opportunities. So let's say we've figured this one out. It is our registration form. And then we're going to go to automation. And we're going to use a very simple form filled notification. And the first thing we're going to do is we won't need the Facebook lead form unless you're putting this form and you're getting registrations from Facebook. In that case, you can have that. And you would add the form name here. You have to connect your forms to the Facebook forms in order to see it here. That's why you don't see it here. So I'll delete that. And then in this form, we're going to change this to yoga registration. So always double check that your workflows are triggering off of the right events. So when the form yoga registration is done, we're going to actually create an opportunity, not under new clients, but under the event. So create an opportunity pipeline that is specifically for informational workshops or the different retreats or different luncheons, whatever lunch and learn you're doing. Create a pipeline for it, and you would put registration received. This will create that lozenge for them and send them an email. Let's say, thank you for registering for the info workshop on, and then you put in the date. So you can customize this by putting in a start date. So if I go to custom values, I can go appointment, start date, time. Now that custom value is related to this event, set event start date. Appointment triggers, calendars, things like that automatically create a start event. So if this was an appointment reminder automation, I wouldn't need to create a start event. Okay, that's built into the calendar system. Because we're using a registration form, I do need to choose the event date and time. So let's say it's a specific date and time. Let's say August 15th at 4 o'clock. Okay, come on. Okay, it's giving me a little bit of trouble here. 4, thank you. Let's say it's a 4 o'clock event on August 15th. Now this internal notification, this email, clicked on the email, this appointment start time will say August 15th at 4 p.m. So if you're having a single retreat, luncheon, workshop, that's a one-off event, I recommend doing the start event time. I recommend doing it this way with a form versus a calendar. And then from here, what will happen is you would build out your additional automations with event reminders and any information that they need, parking. You can send out forms, documents, anything that they might need for that, and then start tracking, especially if it's a free event. You want to start tracking who did you invite, who actually registered, and who actually showed up. So we would create those automations, and we'll show you how to do those at another time. So I hope this was helpful as far as getting your word out to people. Offer something of value. Create that free workshop, that free information. Zoom is free up to 45 minutes, or I think it might be 40 minutes, and you get 99 people. So create a 30-minute registration of a form for a 30-minute workshop. Send out that, call those people and say, I'm doing this great workshop on how to assess storm damage, or how to prevent future storm damage, or what insurance, what to expect from insurance after a storm. Call, email that information, invite them back into your circle and add value. That is how you can secure those stale leads, start transitioning them to warm leads, and eventually a client. Thank you so much for joining the channel, and be sure to drop a comment below on how you work on your workshops for getting those stale leads reactivated. And if I can answer any questions for you, definitely come into open office hours at 12:30 Central every day, Monday through Thursday. Click the link below to get that Zoom link. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye now.